Chapter 1. Seeker looked again at the photograph of his family. Why couldn't things have stayed the way they were in that picture? Why did his dad have to go away? Seeker's father's name was Wanderer. At one time, Wanderer lived in the kingdom. He used to live at home, but not anymore. Seeker wasn't sure what had happened. He just knew that he really missed his dad. With a deep sigh, Seeker tucked the picture back into his shirt pocket and kept walking toward Royal Harbor. Just then, two familiar voices called, "Hey, Seeker! Wait for us!" Seeker turned to see his friends, Doodle and Doo, running toward him. Seeker waved and smiled as the two brothers tried to outdo each other at running. Doodle reached him first, excitedly holding up 2 lanterns. "Look what I have, Seeker!" Doo came panting up from behind, also holding 2 lanterns. "Me too! Look at my lanterns! Daring told us to bring these in case we needed extra ones for the club meeting today." Seeker was impressed. "Lanterns? I wonder where Daring is planning to take us this time." Doodle and Doo's brother Daring was a royal officer in the king's service on the sea. Daring used to be gone for months at a time, but now he lived in Royal Harbor and only went sailing when the king sent him out on special adventures. "Do you remember the time when we really needed 15 coins so we could go see Daring?" Doodle asked. "I sure do," his brother responded. "I'll never forget that," Seeker said. "But now you can see your brother whenever you want. We all can. Let's get going or we'll be late." The boys hurried toward Royal Harbor for the Adventure Club meeting. Once a week after school, Seeker and his friends had been getting together aboard the tall sailing ship, the Adventurer. Daring had served so faithfully that the king had given him his very own ship. Now in port at Royal Harbor, the Adventurer had become a favorite meeting place for the children. When they reached Royal Harbor, Seeker slowed to a walk, but Doodle and Doo raced toward the pier where their other friends were leaning against the railing. Giggles, Gladness, and Glee were laughing, like usual. Dawdle and Slow were quietly tossing cracker crumbs to the seagulls. Hope-So, No-So, and Yes were trying to guess how big the ship was and how fast it could go. Seeker breathed in deeply the saltwater air and smiled as he watched Doodle and Doo showing their lanterns to the other children. Then Seeker looked past his friends to the familiar wooden ship tied to the dock. Gentle waves slapped the sides of the Adventurer, and its 3 huge sails billowed in the wind, as if longing to leave the port. Daring was standing on the deck waving. "Come aboard!" he shouted. Everyone laughed and waved back as they hurried over the gangplank and onto the deck of the tall ship. "Wait for me!" The children turned to see Moira, hurrying across the pier. Seeker's sister Moira had been helping Daring every week with the Adventure Club. "Okay," Daring nodded. "Everyone is here. Do you remember the song we learned last week?" "I should hope so," said Hope-So. "I know so," said No-So in his most confident voice. Their sister laughed. Yes, of course we do. It's called the Attitude of Gratitude. And it's what we're going to do," called Doodle and Doo as they led the others in singing. "I have an attitude of gratitude. I have an attitude of gratitude. I have an attitude of gratitude in my heart all the time. Doodle doo doo doo, doodle doo doo doo, doodle doo doo doo, doodle doo doo doo." Doodle and Doo did a little sailor jig during the last chorus. The other children laughed until their stomachs hurt, and the more they laughed, the more Doodle and Doo added to their dance. The 2 brothers loved having an audience. "Wonderful," Moira said, applauding. "And now for the Adventure Club drill. Attention!" The children lined up and saluted. "Adventure Club members have an attitude of gratitude," she called. "Attitude of gratitude," the children responded together. "Adventure Club members overcome obstacles with opposites," she announced. The children nodded and saluted. "Overcome obstacles with opposites." "You overcome darkness with?" Moira asked. "Light," the children shouted together. "You overcome evil with?" "Good." "You overcome greed with?" giving. You overcome sadness with gladness. As everyone laughed and patted Gladness on the back, Daring called, "It's time for today's adventure. Each of you will need to carry a lantern with you. Help yourselves to the ones sitting over there on the wooden crates. And Doodle and Doo brought extra ones so we would have enough." As the children each picked up a lantern, they talked excitedly. "Where are we going today? It must be someplace dark if we need lanterns." Yes was nervous. "I hope it's not too dark. I get scared sometimes when it's dark." Moira put an arm around the younger girl's shoulder and smiled reassuringly. "Don't worry. We're all together." "After the adventure," said Daring, "we'll come back here and give you time to work on your model ships." Seeker was relieved. "Great. I've almost finished mine, and I want to take it home today." The children had all been working hard the past few weeks on building small wooden ships. They followed Daring and Moira over the gangplank and back onto the shore. "Where are we going?" asked Dawdle. Daring smiled at Dawdle. "Caves," he responded in a low, mysterious voice. "Caves?" the children echoed. Daring nodded. "Caves."